Greetings and welcome to On Air with Akilah the Genius. I am your host, Akilah the Genius, and today I am joined by a true music industry icon, Mr. Angelo Ellerbee, from managing the legendary James and Tume to founding Double Exposure Media Relations. Angelo has spent over 50 years shaping the careers of Grammy winners and Rock and Roll Hall of Famers such as Dionne Warwick, Mary J. Blige, and Robert Cool Bell, just to name a few. He is a celebrated author, philanthropist, and a 2024 Out magazine storyteller and leader, recognized for his unwavering advocacy for the LGBTQIA community. Get ready for an inspiring conversation about music, legacy, and lifting others as you climb. So welcome, Mr. Ellerbee. I hope that I introduced you with some grace. I'm sure you could do a better job. But how are you today?
I applaud you for an excellent introduction.
Thank you so much.
I thank you for having me to be a guest on your platform.
Thank you so much. We were talking a minute ago, and you talked about inclusion and living in a world where everybody's included and feels, and just this short period of time that you and I have been on this call, you have been super patient with me. You have been like, I'm about to cry because
patience is given from God. We can wait on, if he can wait on all of us, I truly can wait on you.
Amen.
Everything in life is just learning the importance of being patient. People want to always drink. I don't like instant coffee. I like brewed coffee. I don't like anything that comes quick. I'll wait on it. I never, ever took the elevator or the escalator in my career. I always took the steps because I knew the importance of step by step. I was going to learn something. Right. When you go fast, you go fast. When you go up that escalator, you don't know if you're going to get stuck. If you go up that elevator, you don't know if you're going to get stuck. When you take those steps, you can go with ease and understanding step by step. You get a growth.
Well, I thank you for being here with me today. I do thank you for your patience and for your understanding. So we're going to jump right in. You're an author, best-selling author, 4 books. Your most recent book is Before I Let You Go. I'm wondering if that has any influence from the legendary Frankie Beverly at all.
Well, I did work for Mr. Beverly for 2 years. And it was an incredible energy. He had such incredible energy. When I remember first meeting him, and I did an interview with him, the first meeting, and I said to him, Mr. Beverly, do you believe that your music is more gospel than it is anything? And he looked at me and he said, young man, how did you know that? I said, because you talk about we are one. You talk about we are one, and that's what we are. We're one. You speak the lyrical contents from the heart. You speak from your heart. You sing from your heart. That's only God's doing. And all he could say to me is, you're the first one in all these years of my life that has been able to dissect my music. I'm only able to dissect the music because I listen to it and understand the lyrical contents. And then after meeting him and understanding him, it was a 2 souls meeting collectively together and understanding what it was all about. And then I went on to learn that his mother and his family were very gospel driven, very religious driven. And so while he would do all these other songs, you had to listen to the lyrical content. But to answer your question, it absolutely had nothing to do with Frankie Beverly.
Okay.
It had to do with my comfortability and wanted to make sure that people of all assortments get an understanding and appreciation of chances. I do believe in chances. I believe that God gives us all chances. We all run to the church because why? We all sinners trying to get right by the work and the word of his doings, right? So I really wanted to make sure that people understood that we need to give everybody a chance. We need to give the incarcerated people a chance. We need to give, my father, our drug addicts a chance, our mental health people a chance. We need to give our HIV and AIDS victim a chance. There's chances, but yet we become, as a people, want to become very judgmental. We want to talk about the negatives as opposed to trying to aid and assist somebody to the next level of their life. And I'm about, really, before I let you go, it's really about, it's not anything about all of the Grammy winners and the Hall of Famers. It ain't about them. It's about you and you and you and you. It's about those people who go unnoticed, that go untouched, that don't get hugs, that don't get applause, that don't get help. And so, yeah, I want to reach to those people. And that book is all about telling them that you get a chance to get better. And I don't care if you get better at 59, 69. I don't care, as long as you get better and you understand how you got better. It's no more than the sacredness of the Lord. And I believe that. I honestly believe that. You know, I am not ashamed of God. I love me some God. But I'm romantically in love with me, Angelo Ellerbee, and that's why I can love my God and I can love someone else. And those are the things that my mom taught me. She told me to fall in love with me. How you gonna be out there, boy? She would say, boy, how would you be out there trying to help somebody if you can't help yourself? Help yourself so that you can help someone else. And I think that's the will of the Lord.
Right. So, speaking of your mother, you said double exposure began on your mother's dining room table. What mindset or daily habit from those humble beginnings still drives your work today?
That I never ever want to go back to the basement, my mother's basement. I never want to work on a dining room table. I never want to talk on a princess phone. I never want to do those things. Those are striving forces that I never want to go backwards. I want to go forwards. I want anyone that works with me, I want them to go forward. I want to give people chances. And I have a hard way of teaching people. Sometimes they say that I'm just a bitch. Some people say that I'm strong and too strong. The bottom line for me, nothing was given to me. I had to earn it. And it's the same way with people who come and I employ, people who come to intern. This ain't no playground.
Right.
This is real ground. And I ain't going back to no 1531 Franklin Street in Newark. I ain't going back there. And you ain't going to take me back there. So you're going to learn what is important. The main ingredients of success is homework. And you ain't going on the computer to find out the homework.
Right.
You're going to interview my clients. You're going to talk to them. You're going to find out things about them. You're going to endure. You're going to endure and have relationship with them, so that you can be a qualified publicist. It's not about taking them to parties. That ain't nobody's publicist.
Right.
I want you to understand what he or she wants from us and for themselves. And that means that you have to apply yourself to them and have relationship with them to the point that you know the do's and the don'ts. So yeah, I'm not going backwards in this game. Not after all of these years. I want to move, but I want to move progressively forward. And I don't want to move by myself. I want to move with you and everybody else.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
Let's get on that wagon and let's push that wagon to success.
So, bankruptcy and Never Die Alone. Yeah. You invested millions of dollars in the film Never Die Alone featuring DMX and later faced bankruptcy. Yeah. What did that experience teach you about risk and resilience.
I'll do it all over again.
Wow.
I
Okay.
remember, I remember, I'll do it over this time with a little bit more smarts.
Mm-hmm.
I remember calling my mother up and I just wanted a shoulder to cry on. So I gave my mother each and every week $250. She got
Okay.
a check every week for $250 for being my mother, right? So I called up, I said, Ma, I lost my money. She said, how the hell did you lose your money? She said, boy, I'm in the middle of making my greens and stuff for Sunday's dinner. So tell me what you want. I said, Ma, I lost my money. She said, well, I hope like hell you can hurry up and find it because it's time for you to send me my money.
Right.
And I told her what happened. She said, okay. She said, I said, I got to move out of my office. She said, pack that mess up. Go find you another place. I ain't got no time for your foolishness and feeling sorry for yourself. Pack it up, go find it. She said, well, how did you begin your company? I said, mine in the basement of the house. She said, I ain't telling you that you're welcome to come back here. I'm just telling you to go find a place and start all over again. If you did it once, you'll do it again. I had no money. You know, it was so wonderful. I found out about a lot of my clients that I shared my failures with. They all got together and they moved me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had no money to pay movers. I
Mm-hmm.
was flat broke. I had nothing. Now, I was living on Fifth Avenue, office on 7th Avenue. I didn't have a dime. So I had to, from a 19-member staff, I had to take it down to 9 members. And those who qualified and those who worked really, really hard, those were the ones that I took. I had to let other people go. And I remember my accountant came to me after the demise and the loss of the money. He says, how are you still doing this? He says, you got some money hidden somewhere. I said, I got no money hidden nowhere.
Right.
I got prayer. He said, hey, you gonna need a whole lot of prayer to get about. How did you move here? Where did you get this money? I said, well, I had a policy and I cashed in my policy, and that's where I'm at. And there's no shame to my game. I see people, Caucasian people, filing bankruptcy every single day. Look at
Mm-hmm.
your president, and
Mm-hmm.
how many times did he file bankruptcy? And he kept moving.
I'm gonna let you claim him. I'm gonna let you claim him.
Oh, no, child, no,
That's
child.
your president.
I ain't gonna let. I hope his mother and father don't want to claim him. But at the end of the day, for me, it was just like I was not going back to that basement.
Yes.
And so we moved into Fifth Avenue. It was number 1 Fifth Avenue across the street from the Empire State Building. And it was like starting all over again. It was starting all over again. And it was like the space was much smaller. On 7th Avenue, we had a whole entire floor. We had a kitchen. We had 4 bathrooms. We had showers. We had everything there, right?
Mm-hmm.
No shame to my game. I lost it. I invested in something that did not happen, did not work. And I'm not going to become accusatory to lawyers or accountants. That was my decision. And that's what I had to learn. This is what I chose to do. They didn't influence me to tell me to do this. I did it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So we start all over again.
The most important part of that, though, is that you invested in yourself every
Absolutely.
time, every time.
Every
And
time.
what was the blessing, though, in starting over? Because sometimes starting
The,
over is not a bad thing.
the blessing is that you got God. The
Right.
blessing is that you talk to God. And that Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And my thing is, if you fall down, ask yourself the question, why did you fall down?
Right.
Then ask yourself another question, how are you going to get back up? And all the king horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. But I called on God. And when I called on him, he put me all back together again and said, now sit and get it done. You learned from it. You learned from this, didn't you, Angelo?
Right.
You learned, right? And so now you will never make that mistake again.
Mm-hmm.
You will not just believe in one person. You wasn't believing in me, Angelo. You was believing in DMX and all the things that was behind it, right?
Mm.
You didn't believe in me. You didn't ask me. You went to your lawyers and you went to, but you didn't ask me, the man upstairs. And so, yeah, I did learn. I learned to count on God.
That's right.
I
That's
spell the
right.
word. Listen, I don't have many friends. I spell the word friend. If you take the word friend and split it in the middle, what you get? END, at end of a friend.
Mm.
I
Mm-hmm.
have a friend in Jesus. And
Right.
I don't care if somebody, I believe in him.
That's
I
right.
trust him. My only friend, the only one that I ever will need. No
That's
one's
right.
going to forsake me. No one's going to be jealous of me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, they might be, but it doesn't matter because no weapon formed against you will prosper.
Oh, you better not preach.
It doesn't matter. They could be
That's
jealous. They could be vindictive. They could do a voodoo spell on you.
We
But
ain't
no
having church up
weapon,
in here today. We ain't having church in
no
here today. Right?
listen, when two or three are gathered together,
Oh,
it's gonna be church. Wait a minute, I don't have a glass. I need to get my glass.
where's your glass at, girl? You ain't got a glass.
Let me go get my glass.
You need to get your glass on. You got to do an interview without a glass.
Oh, you see, I love you already. I'm gonna go get it. Give me a second. I'm gonna ask you this other question first.
Okay.
So in the book, you share a story about a bank manager who quietly warned you when your account was in jeopardy. How has building personal relationships like that shaped your success?
Relationship is so
Yes.
very important.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so crazy. You know, this lady called me up one day. She said, you got 15 minutes to get around the corner. IRS is about to put a stop on your account. She said, Angelo, you got 15 minutes. Whatever you got in this account, you better come and get it because they're about to lock you. I went around the corner, girl. I slung that mean coat around that corner faster than the wind. Because I had 19 people I had to pay.
Right.
I took that money out and she looked at me. She said, safe deposit box, the best way to go until you get it together. Mm-hmm. I took that money out of there. And do you know what? That lady came to work with me.
Wow.
She left her job and she came to work for me.
Wow.
But she believed so much into me. She came to work for me. Mm. And she protected my funds, my investments, the taxes, everything. So I think it's, I look, this is what I used to do when I would go inside of the bank. It's important that you make friends. Mm-hmm. One of my dearest friends, Byron Barnes, was a makeup artist and created the Iman's line of cosmetics. So he would leave all the makeup and stuff in my office and I mean, I had tons of it. I used to get little gift bags with lipsticks, and I would go around to that bank and I would give it to all the tellers and the branch managers.
Okay.
And Christmas time, I would go and get Papa. Girl, I ain't no fool. Mm-hmm. You have to treat people with kindness.
Yes.
You treat people with kindness and they're going to treat you with kindness. Yeah. And every time I went in that bank, hey, Angelo, how you doing? Hey, yo, how y'all doing? I got this for you today. So when it was even when the check was about to go play basketball, they would clear the check. They would say, Angelo, when you gonna have the money to cover this check? I say, girl, give me until Friday. All right. Friday I would come with the money. And she would go.
I love that. Listen, this just talking to you right now is just showing me or affirming that the favor of God, because really it's just a constant testament to how good God is. People like to tell you what can't happen. They always like to tell you that, oh, well, they're not going to do that. Or, nah, it doesn't work that way, Akilah. But you can't tell me how God is going to line it up for me. You cannot tell me what's going to happen for me because I have faith. So yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not, a common practice for you to go in a bank and be able to get a check cashed and not bring money back until days later. But my God, you, sir, are blessed beyond measure. And you have the favor of God all over you. And so the fact that I get to interview you right now, thank you for just sharing that with me. I feel so honored. That
Listen,
story is powerful.
I'm telling you, that has been my way. That has been my way of life. See, I didn't get a chance to tell you, my mother was a waitress, right? She had 6 children.
Yeah.
And so she was a hustler. She had to hustle, take care of 6 children. And I learned that. And she would just, oh, I'm going to bake a cake for this minister. I'm doing this. What are you doing all that for? She said, just mind your business. I'm going to do this. Oh, Sister Ellerbee, I love my mother. Oh, my mother was a pistol. She was a pistol, honey. I don't get me fooled with all this kindness. My mother ain't take no mess from nobody.
Right.
But what she taught me was like the give back was so important, and to help somebody when they're down and not to kick them, to help people. She always like, help you. You could help them. You could, and she would always want to give my services away for free. Mom, this is what I do for a living. She said, I don't care what you do for a living. You go help that lady. And I grew with that. And I grew with that. And I think that that's where I'm at today. And I think that's why, Dion Work has been a client of mine for 40 years. Melba Moore has been a client of mine for the last 7 years. Robert Cool Bell has been my client for 20 years. And we can go on and on and on and on. It's because of the relationship that I allowed and that God allowed to become cohesive in an understanding that it wasn't just about the business, it was about the relationship.
Yeah.
And so many times I'm watching all this crazy thing with Dame Dash, and I'm like, what is going on? What is really, really going on?
Right.
Why are we doing that to each other? Why are we doing that? Ain't nobody no boss. You ain't no boss of nobody.
Right.
And everybody got to be everybody. You're a boss of you. That's who you the boss of. We got to stop doing this. Because this is not just coming into our communities. These are national platforms. This ain't what we about as a collective of people. Why are we fighting each other? For what? It sounds stupid. Yeah, I said it. It sounds stupid. And it makes us look not good the way that we know that we are. We are highly educated. We are integrity. We're responsible. We are everything that God created us to be. But he didn't create us to be stupid and to act foolish and bring buffoonery. I'm just simply saying that as much as we're going through the crisis that we're going through today, I'm a believer that we need to be a collective. We need to listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
For sure.
Who said to us, we need our own. We need our own automotives. We need our own farms. We need our own cleaners. We need our own. We need our own, and we need to own it. But yet they thought this man was racist and prejudiced. No, he wasn't. It's no more than what is actually happening in this day and this time. That people want their own ownership. And until we come together and begin to appreciate the many contributions that we have given to this world, not just this country, to this world, it's us. It's people that look like me and you. We created almost everything.
Yeah.
And it's almost like rape. It's almost like being raped. Because they take it. And then they own it. But if we was this cohesive community of people, we wouldn't allow it. I just don't understand. But I'm going to keep on moving on and keep on praying on and hoping that things will change and make a difference. The change will make a difference.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about your philanthropy. You give a lot, time, money to the RAIN Foundation.
Yes.
And also you've spoken about navigating the entertainment world as a Black gay man.
Yes.
What advice do you have for young LGBTQIA creatives facing similar challenges today? And also talk a little bit about the RAIN Foundation and how those two connect.
I think it's important that you stay strong and you stay convinced in who you are. Mm-hmm. I'm never, ever, ever, I'm never going to let you change who I am. This is me. Mm-hmm. I'm not changing because you don't like me. You have a problem with me being gay. You have a problem. That's your problem. It ain't my problem, right? So, and you're going to respect me. And if you're not going to respect me, I'm going to cancel you. Or in better words, I will block you. I don't need that. It takes a lot for me to get up in the morning and stay positive. Mm-hmm. I pray 45 minutes each and every single day of my life. I know what I got. And if I have nothing to give, I got me to give. You're not going to interrupt on my positive messages, my beliefs, and my hope as a gay Black man. And we're always going to put that sign up, gay. I'm a Black man, responsible.
Right.
In doing what I have to do to aid and assist people to the next level of their life. I don't care if you're straight, gay, bi, whatever. You're one of God's children. And that's what I care about. You're a human being. And stop putting me in a category. And stop thinking, I don't want you. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Oh, no. I'm very happy.
Right.
And happiness is happiness with me.
That's right.
So let's get it real clear. Don't get it confused. It is what it is. And I'm happy with me being happy. You got a problem with it, then you should solve that problem with yourself.
Right. That's a you problem. Right.
That's a you problem. So the thing for me, when it comes down to organizations, mm-hmm. I wish that I can give to every organization in this world that is in the protection of young kids. Is so many of my friends, when they were younger, their mothers and fathers did not understand their life or lifestyle. And when they found out about it, they kicked them out of their homes. Mm-hmm. And we found a lot of them in the streets, living in parks and or just prostituting to make money to live and exist. Not in this richest country in the world. What's going on here?
Right.
So when you talk about the RAIN organization in Essex County having 2 locations that will take these young kids in, house them and feed them and have a therapy session with them and giving them the next level of their careers, helping them find jobs, helping them find apartments after they have lived out their extent with them. That's what I'm about. That's the culture. That's the community. And we got to be real clear about aiding and assisting our youth. They run rampant. And we just need to put them in our arms and have conversation. It is so easy to have a conversation with somebody. I don't care how street you are, how ghetto you are, how raw you are. I can speak that language too. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, so I can speak your same language.
Right.
To get them to understand. You don't stay young forever. You need something in your life. You need nutrition, you need education, you need all those things that you're lacking at this point. And this is the only way you're going to get it. Okay, you can pop your fans, you can do all those things that you want to do and be pieces and the other bit. At the end of the day, you got to live in this world. And you got to be self-supporting. You got to support yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to give of yourself. And these are the things that, I mean, this is the path in which I'm trying to aid and assist people in doing and loving themselves. I love me some Angelo Ellerbee. I love me, and I'm so thankful for the Lord above for letting me love me like I love me. Because when I love me, I can love you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Because that's important. And I think a lot of times we go to raise our children, and we think automatically as parents that our children know that we love them because they give us a roof over their head, they give us food, and that. No, you need to say it. I love you. Come and give me a hug each and every single day. Because you know what? They ain't got to come back. Some crazy thing could happen, and you feel at a downfall because you did not say, I love you. Hug me. All that's very important. I find my mother used to knock on my door. I used to get so mad at her. She used to knock on my door about 6:30 every morning. From my God, from age like 8 to about 17. She used to say, hey, my last born, did I tell you that I love you? And I go, Mom, it's 6:30 in the morning. No, you didn't tell me. Well, I'm on my way to work, and I just want to let you know I love you. Do you know what that meant to me? That meant everything to me.
Right.
And that made me want to go out there and make a difference for my mother, for my 4 sisters, for my brother. It's so funny. This year has been such a blessed year. I grew up in Newark, New Jersey, and in my early years of life, I was raised on a street called Tracy Avenue in Newark. Well, the city of Newark named that street after me.
Yes, Angelo Ellerbee Way.
Yeah. And all I can do is when I stood there to speak is think about my mother coming up that hill from that restaurant, my sisters and my brothers coming up that hill, and all of what we had to go through. And I just smiled. And I saw my mother as I was speaking, my mother coming up that hill in that white uniform and her white stockings, like she was a nurse and she was a waitress. And my sisters and my brother coming up that hill from, oh, wow, am I blessed? Am I blessed? And that's why I try to take it. You know, even when it comes down to the homelessness, people wanna judge. You can't judge somebody. You know, I have this guy that drives me around, and I remember we stopped. We stopped, and I saw these four or five guys. One was in the garbage can, one was in a box, da 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 da. And I asked them to pull over. And he says, Mr. Ellerbee, all they're going to do is buy liquor with it. I said, but why is it your business?
Right.
And I couldn't care what they did with the money. They can blow up balloons. I don't care. I know that I had a father that was an alcoholic. I've had sisters that was a drug addict. That could be me. And I said to him, hell, it could be you. Give while you can give. What they do with it is not your business. Live your life and give from your life. Those are the things that are important to me.
Okay. Amen. Giving back, right?
Yes.
And legacy. Much of your book highlights your community work.
Yes.
Especially with the LGBTQIA youth. What project or impact are you proudest of so far?
Honestly, everything that I go to do is a blessing. Waking up in the morning is a blessing. Having a conversation with you today is a blessing. Being able to go over to the RAIN organization and talking to them is a blessing. I think that everything that God allows me to do is just a blessing. I don't know anything about a legacy. I think I'm still too young to talk about a legacy. I just know that we have to do his work.
Amen.
I think that's what's really important.
So you count it all joy. All of it is.
All of it is joy, even the bad times,
Yeah.
even losing my money, even having to start all over again, even lovers leaving, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All that negative is positive to me because I learned by it. The best experience in life is just that, the experience of life. And you learn to deal with it one way or the other. It is, look, life is not a given, it's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go to unwrap that gift, it's up to you. You can pull all the paper off, or you could take your time and unwrapping it to see what the surprise is inside. If people went through life not being accepted, not being understood, I think that's where we're falling at this point in our stage of our life, living in this time. People are not being accepted, appreciated. We don't even have the freedom of speech anymore. And it seems like the Constitution was never including us as a people.
Mm-hmm.
I got a problem with that. I think that this Constitution was written for those people who don't look like you and I. And it
Right.
seems like they're rewriting this Constitution based on how they feel. There is such a separation in this country, in this world, that is that is just not palatable. I don't understand why people are afraid of this current president and why people have not come together to fight this. This is crazy. This is
Mm-hmm.
really crazy. People work for their social security, people work for a better education for their children, and all these things are being cut. It's a problem. And so I just continuously pray. I continuously try to move forward with my goals of life and making sure that my Martin Luther Kings and my Malcolm X's and my Elijah Muhammad's legacies exist. And particularly Elijah Muhammad, he said to us many, many years ago, as a culture of people, we must come together. We must work together. We must have our own. And
Mm-hmm.
if we would only listen to what this man had to say back in that day and time, and instead of thinking that he was racist and that he did not want to be a, he did want to be a part, but he understood this world for what it was. He wanted us to have our own automotive, our own farms, our own cleaners, all these things. That is instilling power and having your own, having your own. That's the most important thing. Being able to get an education, because it's one thing that they can't take from you is the
Mm-hmm.
education.
Right. A core message of the book is self-belief. How do you personally maintain that confidence when circumstances get rough?
I think what I've been talking about all morning long with you is
Faith, God.
faith in God. I
Yeah.
think that those are the instrumental things of getting through whatever you got to go through.
Right.
My so-called friends or people that I'm aligned to don't understand my pain or my anguish. They don't understand it because it ain't them.
Mm-hmm.
And I too cannot understand theirs. But I know that the man upstairs can. And I've learned to wait on his time. It's time to work it out. There's a whole lot of people calling on him.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta
Yeah.
wait on. And while I'm waiting on him, I am able to get a sense of understanding where the mistake in the trial and the tribulations is. And I can almost work it out myself with his guidance. And so when he comes to me, he says, "Hey, son, this is what it is." He brings it back to you so you can see what it is. You know, when you get those little inklings, I really believe that's him talking to me. You need to correct that. You need to get that person out of your life. You need to do. I ain't no fool. And so therefore I take it and I
Mm-hmm.
run with it.
So you mentioned clients of yours being Melba Moore. Oh my gosh, Melba Moore. My mom loved Melba Moore.
And Melba has a new book. She has a new book. This is it. It's coming
Really?
out
Okay.
now. She has a new book that's coming out. It's going for pre-sales in the next 2 or 3 days. And I think it's out in November. So yeah.
So as her publicist, what is your day-to-day managing her career?
Well,
How are you going to help promote the book and whatever else she's doing?
well, I'm beyond the book selling. I'm a part of the book selling. The key thing is I have to get her to write the book.
Okay.
Right? So
Yeah.
that's the beginning. It's like Miss Moore to her management, to Charlie, and say, I think it's time for you to write the memoirs. I think the truth is not on strike. We need to do this book. And they hesitated for a very, very long time until they came and said to me, I think we're ready, Angelo. Let's write the book. So it's a nurturing. You understand what it's going to take for her to get to the next level of media.
Mm-hmm.
And that book, with all the things of the trials and the tribulations that she's gone through, people are eager to know how she got through. And the only way they're going to know how she got through is in a book.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's taken the time to get her to understand what you say in these interviews about this book, what you say about your life and what you don't say about your life. Then it's the development of all the platforms and interviews that you must do, how we must come about to get to TV, mainstream TV, local TV, podcasts, influencers. Those all become a part of my office to roll out the red carpet to give her an opportunity to speak about this is it as it is. This is it, as that's the name of the book.
Nice. Also mentioned Robert Cool Bell of Kool and the Gang. Their debut album came out in 1969, I believe.
So the wonderful thing about Kool,
Mm-hmm.
Kool is just a down-to-earth individual. He's now celebrating his 75th birthday.
Wow.
And the birthday, I think the third birthday party's in the next week. And so I was romantically in love with his wife, Sakina Bell. Sakina
Okay.
and I were friends for, oh my God. I was more of a friend of Sakina's than I was of Kool's.
Mm-hmm.
Sakina used to come over to my house, and every Friday, at least for 2 or 3 months, she would go out and buy this fish, and she would come to my house and she would fry fish. And we would sit every Friday and just talk about everything under the sun, laugh and kiki and laughing.
Mm-hmm.
She was such a supporter of me. I think she loved more. I think she loved me more than I loved myself. She was just wonderful. And then when she got ill and got very, very sick, before that time, I would get on the phone and talk to Kool, of course. And she would say, "Oh, Angelo, take care of my husband," da 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 da, not knowing anything was wrong. And I said, "Oh yeah, I'll make sure I'll take care of him." Um, and then she introduced me to her two sons, and of course, I got very involved in what they wanted to do with their lives, and they both are into the music industry, and the support that they give to their father is unbelievable. Because Kool has now a line of champagne called La Kool Champagne,
Nice.
and it's selling internationally. And Muhammad is like the front runner of this product. And they also have an organization called the Kool Kids Foundation, and that is something that Sakina and Kool came together and did on their own. And that is when they were taking music out of the school systems. Kool and Sakina really wanted young kids to have music and instruments. They thought it was just the best way of life for young kids. And so now, for the last, my God, 20 years, Hakeem Bell and Muhammad Bell, along with a bunch of others, come together with a golf tournament. And they bring in everybody who is somebody to come and participate. And I think they've given away well over maybe $200,000, $300,000 to kids in schools across the country.
That's worthy of applause. If I
Yeah.
had a studio audience,
I'll help you. Yeah, I'll help you.
they would be clapping for that right now.
I mean, I think that it's really important that the people that I work with, they don't have to be on the level of a Deanna or Kool, that they understand the importance of a give back.
Yeah.
It's everything in the world. Give it back. But what are you going to do? You ain't going to take nothing with you.
Nothing.
and nothing. So give it back. Give the time, if you give nothing else, to talk to somebody. Say, man, it's cool. Can I pound whatever they do with this thing there? And give them a hug. Especially there's so many people who think this industry is so easy to enter. It ain't easy at all. But this is what you want to do. I think it's really important that you understand what it's going to take to enter and re-enter. It's not just the streaming cycles. It's not just your Spotify. You got to have some money.
I'm going to do a quick rapid fire. Questions that you might not think have anything to do with anything. Just to get to know you more. What's your favorite color?
Black or either white.
Okay. Same here. I like black, white, pink. Those are my favorites. Favorite type of food?
Pasta and chicken.
I knew you were going to say pasta. Don't ask me why. I just had a feeling. If you could speak another language, do you speak another language?
No, I don't.
What language would you choose if you could speak another one?
Spanish.
Okay. Does that have anything to do with growing up in Newark?
It has everything to do with wanting to reach out to another audience of people that are striving and that have been pushed to the side. I think that the Spanish community, the Latino community lacks a lot of love and understanding and guidance. And if only I can speak their language.
Yeah. If you could describe your journey in one word, what would that word be and why?
Rough.
Okay.
Why? I think that we have gone through my journey, and it has not been an easy journey. It's been a very rough journey.
Are you and Dapper Dan friends by any means?
I've never had the pleasures of meeting this great giant. I've never had the pleasures of meeting him at all. Never. And so many people say, you're about the fifth person that asked me about my relationship with Dapper Dan. I don't have one.
I can't believe it.
I think he's phenomenal. I do think he's a phenomenal. And I love what he's doing now because he's having everyone to appreciate Harlem. He's going street by street, getting in different cars, looking fabulous, and just talking about the greatness of Black Harlem. But so no, I haven't had the pleasures.
I feel like it's going to be my mission to get y'all two together.
I would love to meet him.
I don't even know him.
He seems like a wonderful gentleman.
Yeah, wow. Were you at Fashion Week this past week?
No, you know what? No, I wasn't. Kyrie Irving and his sister, we're working together on that line.
Okay.
They have a fabulous collection that they're putting out. And I've been really focusing in on, I like Fashion Week. I love to see everybody come together. But I also think for the new person that you need to expose yourself in another level versus just, if you're a designer running out to all the shows, have your own little unique private thing, where you take 5 or 6 of the head editors and 4 or 5 of your influencers, have them and have a spa day, have a beauty day.
Nice.
Take care of them because you want them to take care of you. Have lovely champagne and hors d'oeuvres for them. Give them a gift bag. And now you set the tone. I love doing things like that. Those are the things that I think they're going to remember you for. Those are the things that I used to do for my journalists. I would have a beauty day, a spa day. I remember 100 years ago, I had a beauty day for Mary J. Blige. And it was fabulous. People came and got their nails done, got their hair done, the whole other bit. It was on one of her first albums.
Nice. One last thing. If a young artist could take only one lesson from Before I Let You Go, what would you want that lesson to be?
To be astute and understand the business of music before you enter. Understand that you must understand all of the who, what's, the whens, wheres, and the whys of the industry before you enter. You need to be educated about your royalties, about your publishing, about your taxation. You need to know what it takes to be a manager, what you're looking from your manager, what it takes to build a team. Just don't let people come in and take advantage of you, and be original. And don't let someone change your way of thinking about your music or your sound. But do your job, because you manage you. You need to learn what it is to manage you. It's not, look, at the end of the day, no matter what you go to do, if anything happens with you, you're going to be the accused individual. So be responsible enough to understand what his or her job is and their affiliations with you.
How do we find you on social media?
Well, I want them to find my book. I want them to find that book first and go to Amazon to purchase the book.
Okay.
But I'm just on all platforms, Double Exposure NYC, straight across the board.
Okay. All right. Is there anything you want to leave us with?
I want to leave you with thank you, your kindness. Your energy is enough to put anyone on the cloud. And I thank you for your kindness. And may God continue to bless you. And may you seek for great heights in your life.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. And thank you so much for joining me on Air with Akilah the Genius. I hope to have you back. Any project you're working on, bring it here and we'll talk about it. And we'll see you again soon.